Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you guys can see, I just got out the shower, my hair is freshly washed, and I am in my bathroom. So today, if you guys haven't guessed it, I am going to be showing you guys my updated hair care routine. So I did this video last year when I had platinum blonde hair, but having platinum blonde hair is very hard to maintain. It's too much for me. I'm extremely low maintenance. I don't have the time to get my hair done all the time, so every time I go I always do something different. And recently I've been doing more highlights. As you guys can see, I have both dark and blonde, and then my ends are still pretty light. I've changed the tone of my hair like a couple times. I was all platinum for like 3 months, then I was like a darker blonde for 3 months, then I did shadow roots for 3 months, and then from shadow roots I did the highlights. So the reason why I like the highlights is one, because like I said, it's more low maintenance. As it grows out, it doesn't look as bad. It gives more dimension to my hair and my curls, and it's not as damaging either, because even though I have my stylist put a bonder in the color, which we use Redken's pH bonder because we use Redken color, or bleach I should say, because I don't color my hair. This isn't color, this is bleach and toned. Basically, today I'm going to be showing you guys my updated hair care routine, because I have added some stuff to the hair care routine. I'm not using a lot of the things that I used to use. Just show you guys how I maintain my hair to be so healthy and soft. I've learned so much throughout the 2 years that I've been blonde. Well, I think it's been like almost 3 years. And I've learned so much with it. It's curly hair at the end of the day, so it's its own mind. And then it being chemically damaged, regardless of who does it and how they do it, your hair still loses the integrity when you're coloring your hair. Because basically the reason why it gets light is because holes are being put into your hair and taking out the pigment, so it becomes weaker. So you have to continuously do things to keep the health of it and the strength of it so that it doesn't break off. So I have switched over to the Deva Curl, Decadence, No Poo, and One Condition. I bought these in February and I'm halfway through with them. So a little bit goes a long way. I wash my hair once a week, sometimes twice a week, just depending how dirty my hair is. This moisturizes my hair, and when you have a chemically processed hair, you need to have a healthy balance of moisture and protein. And that's something that I kind of was struggling with in my last curly hair routine video. My hair was super dry, which is why I had so much frizz. But I thought because I had blonde bleached hair that I needed protein to make it strong. But I kept forgetting to balance it with moisture. So that's why, even though my curls were defined, they were frizzy, because they were looking for moisture in the area. So I switched over to the No Poo Decadence line because this is the most moisturizing shampoo and conditioner that Deva Curl does have. Some people hate the No Poo because it doesn't sud. It's basically like washing your hair with conditioner, but it really does cleanse the scalp. If you guys didn't know, you can wash your hair with conditioner and it'd be totally fine. People just like the shampoo because it makes the hair feel clean. But it takes a while to get used to, and it definitely has helped with my scalp because my scalp was so dry before using so much shampoo. And now switching over to the No Poo, my scalp is nice and healthy. Then what I also do before any of that, before I use the No Poo, I've been using the Deva Curl Wash Day Wonder. So this is a detangler. So before, when my hair was really dry, I would use so much of this because my hair was just stretchy and it would be so hard to untangle. But I'm going to mention some products that have helped me to make my hair stronger and easier to untangle. But this really helps because it basically almost makes your hair feel like silky, and it breaks apart the knots. So when you're using, I use the wet brush because it's very gentle on the hair, and I always start from the bottom, work my way up. It helps to keep the moisture in my hair while also helping me untangle it, and I won't rip out my hair as much as I used to before. And I always use that first, rinse it out, then use my No Poo. And before I even do that, I'm just remembering things on the top of my head here, guys. So I do this once every 2 weeks. Depending on my hair, but usually it's once every 2 weeks. This is the pH bonder from Redken Post Service. So like I said, she does use pH bonder in my color and my toner and my bleach. So that helps to prevent breakage from your hair and allowing you to have a little bit more stretch when it comes to blonding your hair in one service. This is very similar to Olaplex. This is just Redken's version. I personally like this one better. I find that it makes my hair softer than Olaplex and it just works a lot better for my hair. I would just, you know, if your colorist is using a specific brand of bond builder, I would use whatever post-service treatment to whatever it is that your stylist is using in your hair. So I use Redken's, and this is not a conditioning treatment, just like Olaplex isn't. This just helps to strengthen the hair, and it is a before shampoo treatment. So you rinse, wet your hair, don't wash any of the product out, don't wash anything out. You can clarify it if you want, just get rid of product buildup if you've used a lot of product. And then just put this in your hair. I like to leave it on overnight and then wash it out the next day. Once this dries in your hair, it stops working. So you can put a cap on if you want it to continue to work. But I personally just braid my hair or put it in a bun and let it be. So I use that, and then I use that every 2 weeks. And when I don't use that every 2 weeks, I alternate between the Deva Curl Deep Sea Repair Seaweed Strengthening Mask. So this is a protein mask. You don't want to leave this on for more than 20 minutes because too much protein can break the hair. I learned that the hard way because the first time I used this overnight, and maybe that's why I have breakage. But I leave this on for 20 minutes. You can put it under heat. And then I also use this, which is my saving grace. This has made my hair what it is today. So this is the Deva Curl Melt into Moisture Matcha Butter Conditioning Mask. So this you can leave overnight. If your hair is very, very dry, your hair needs a lot of moisture. And leaving it in overnight is going to really assure that your hair is going to get the moisture that it needs. I only do leave it in overnight once a month. And then every other week that I'm not using the pH bonder, I use these two in combination. So I just mix both of them together and leave it in my hair for like about 10-15 minutes and then rinse it out. So it does seem like a lot of work, and it is, but I mean, all curly hair, regardless if it's chemically damaged or not, needs TLC, and chemically processed hair just needs a little bit more. So before you try to go blonde, just think about that. It is a lot of maintaining. It is a lot of stuff that you have to do to upkeep the health of your hair, make sure that it doesn't break. Alrighty, so I'm going to show you guys the products that I use. So the first product that I always put in my hair after I've rinsed out my conditioning treatment or whatever it is that I last did in the shower is I take a little bit of the One Condition Decadence, take 1 to 2 pumps of it, and I actually use this as my leave-in conditioner. So I'm just going to go ahead and take 2 pumps of it and do like what they call prayer hands. So I just squeeze my hands together and put that leave-in conditioner in my hair. And then the one spot that I really want to focus on, I'm going to grab just a little tiny bit more, is right here on this back area of my head. So here I always forget to put product in there, so I just kind of smooth it down. And this is really lightweight too. I don't feel like it makes my hair oily or anything like that. And the more moisture your hair has, the better when it's curly. And then what I like to do is take this. This is something I just started using. This is the Paul Mitchell Tea Tree Scalp Care Anti-Thinning Root Lift Foam. So this gives you volume and texture. I bought this for my husband because, you know, he needs some fullness in his hair and he doesn't use it. So I started using it and I actually really like it. So I take 2 pumps of it and then I just kind of focus that in my root wherever I have like flatness to my hair, because since my hair is longer, it weighs down. And once I put all the product in, it tends to weigh down as well. So I just put this wherever I want volume in my hair, on my scalp only. And it really does a good job at lifting the hair. So then after that, then I take some of the Believe in Miracle Curl Plumper. So this also helps to add volume and texture to the hair as well. And this is a leave-in product, but it's not a leave-in conditioner. So it's not going to moisturize the hair. It's kind of like a primer for your hairstyle. So I take a good amount of that and do the prayer hands again and just rub that through. And it's very, very lightweight. I don't use too much product because I like volume in my hair. Using too much product is going to weigh your hair down. Then what I like to do is I take some of the Cantu Curl Activator Cream. I'm actually running low on this, so I need to get more. So I take a like quarter size amount, which is this much. and then I mix it in with my oil. This is called the LOC method. It's leave-in, oil, and then cream or whatever styling product you use. So what I do is I mix in the curl activating cream from Cantu with some of my oil. So it thins out the curl activating cream, and I don't use this as a styling product. This is almost like a primer too, but what it does is just really gets the curls nice and hydrated. So I just kind of rub that through my hands or my hair. And you can use whatever oil you guys want. I am using today the OGX Biotin and Collagen Weightless Healing Oil Treatment. So it looks like this. Like I said, you can use whatever oil you want. Usually I use the Shea Moisture one. I just can't find it. So this is the one that I'm going to use today. And then once I've done that, then the last step is putting in whatever styling product you use. So the one that I've been using, I used to use the Deva Curl Super Cream, but it was a little too heavy for me. Like my curls weren't as defined. So I've started using this. This is from Matrix. This is the Defining Gel Cream. And this, it looks like this. And it smells amazing. I used to use this a while ago, but I stopped using it for whatever reason. And now I'm back at using it. And then I take one pump first, and I use that for one side of my head. And I really want to focus it in my front area, as well as whatever's left over back here. And then I'm going to use another pump on the other side of my head, and that's all I use. I don't use more than that. It is more than enough for my hair, and I have pretty thick hair. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is take my wet brush, and I'm just going to brush everything very, very smooth. And I also didn't like blot any of the water or moisture out of my hair. You want to make sure your hair is really wet when you do this. So after I've done that, then what I'm going to go ahead and, my hair is getting a little dry, so I'm taking a Ferrosol bottle. I did get this at Sally's. So this is a continuous spray. This is a continuous sprayer. I like this because it's gentle on the hand and it just continues to spray for a while. So I'm just gonna make sure that my hair is very nice and saturated, because if it's too dry, this is not gonna work. I'm just gonna take a little tiny bit more of the cream gel, make sure that my hair is nice and saturated. So this is a technique that I learned off Instagram. Her name is I think it was Isabella Olivia. I'll link her name down below, but she did what she's calling shaken ringlets. So it was a really cool video. I tried this already before, one time before I filmed it for you guys, just to let you guys know how it works for me and if it even works for me, or I should just show you guys the way that I was doing it before. And my curls have never looked better than the time that I did her technique. So after you've done all of that and you've brushed your hair, you can use a D-man brush or a paddle brush, like I am using the wet brush. And then what you're gonna go ahead and do is flip your hair upside down and you're gonna comb it forward. And you wanna use your hand to go ahead and smooth it out. Make sure you brush it from both top and bottom. After I've done that, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is make sure that my hair is splitting where I want it to be. So I'm gonna start back here. I don't want to touch my hair too much, so I'm just gonna comb that out of the way. So you wanna grab hair about this thick. This is about a 3-inch section. I have a lot of hair, so I do more sections. If you have finer hair, you can do less sections. So it just has to be about this thick. You don't want it to be too thick, but you don't want it to be too thin either. So you can use a D-man brush because it works a lot better, or Denman, I don't know how to pronounce it. But I'm gonna just use the wet brush, and what I'm gonna do is smooth this out. Then I'm gonna take it at the base, hold the brush like this and my hair, and just create a ginormous finger coil. So this is how I do it with the wet brush. And now you have a ginormous finger coil. So now I'm gonna grab the next section right here. So I kind of made like a triangle. So you guys can see about how thick I want the sections to be. And then brush it out. So that way it's nice and smooth again. And then start at the root. Hold your brush like this, right here in the center. And just alternate hands as you spin. I find that makes doing this a lot easier. And you want to make sure that you're not over directing the roots too much either, okay? So you want it to look like that. Then I'm going to grab this front section of my hair, about where I part my hair. So this is kind of more or less where I part it. I have a cowlick here, so I just kind of part it right there where that cowlick is, right here. And then you want to brush this section forward, kind of hold it out a little bit. See, and that happens sometimes where it like bends. So if it does that, just start all over. This section here is hard for me because this is where all my breakage is, as well as some non-broken pieces. Make sure. Actually, I'm going to take this and do it the other way because I think that's why I'm having a hard time. Yes, there we go. This one's going to look weird because, like I said, it's where my breakage is. Then I'm going to go right here and create like a triangle section. You can use your brush to do it. And I want this to go this way because I like my curls to go like that. This one's the only exception because of the breakage. Then we're going to do another section right here. I actually do 7 sections. I have a lot of hair. The girl who originally does this only does 5 sections. So it all depends on how thick your hair is. And this piece, I'm going to actually spin it forwards towards my face. Just re-accentuate the curls with your fingers if you need to. Split this. And this one as well is going towards the front of my face. And the reason why I use the brush is because it helps you smooth out the curl or the hair as you're twisting. Actually, this one I'm gonna do away from my face as well. Then I'll do the rest towards my face. Just kind of have to play around with it, figure out what works best for you. And I'm gonna do this one away from my face. So that's grabbing it from the bottom, spinning it away. You want to make sure you get all the hair. So I have these little hairs here. I want those to be included. So it looks kind of crazy. You have these little like just big old dreads chilling in your hair. But it works, guys. It works so well. All right, so then once you have these crazy dreads, what we're gonna do, take each section, twist it, and from the bottom, we're gonna just scrunch it. And this is gonna take out any excess moisture in the hair and make sure that that product is really, really saturated in your curls. So it's gonna look like, and I'm just retwisting it just to make sure the twist is in place. And you wanna basically scrunch it at the root. This section's kind of dry, so I'm just re-wetting it. Because you want it to make those squishy noises. I already know these front sections always dry the fastest. And you don't have to re-establish the twist either. It just all depends on how your hair is looking. This is where all my longer hair is. So that one's not squeaking either, or squishing. And the reason why you want to make sure the sections are really wet is because it just makes sure that you're not going to have frizz in your hair. Once you've done that, then you're going to flip your head upside down like so, and you're just going to shake the hair out. You don't want to touch it. Just shake all the hair out. And that's just going to ensure that you are keeping the ringlets in place. Then you want to take your hands again and scrunch all your hair. And this is what you want your hair to look like. So I use this diffuser. I got this at Sally's. This is the ion diffuser. This is one of those collapsible ones, and it has the very small teeth. I like this one because it's easy for travel and I can really get in the scalp. And then I'm using the same blow dryer as before. This is the Babyliss Porcelain Ceramic Pro blow dryer. So I use my blow dryer on warm. I'm gonna go ahead and attach my diffuser. And then what I'm gonna do is scrunch my hair one more time. You can already kind of start seeing the little ringlets forming in my hair. Separate them very gently though, wherever you need to. I'm gonna set it on warm, and then we're gonna diffuse it on high. So I'm gonna diffuse a little bit on camera and then the rest. So you can flip your hair upside down. And then what I do is, that was like about 3 minutes of me diffusing my hair, is I'm gonna put it on cold and start diffusing it cool. So I don't dry my hair fully. I dry it like 50% maybe, let it air dry, and then finish off with my blow dryer. So I'm gonna cool shot it, and then I'll so my hair is about 50% dry right now. I've been diffusing it with hot first, or warm I should say, for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then I do cool for about another 3 to 4 minutes, and then what I do is I let it air dry a little bit, and then I finish off with the blow dryer on warm and cool again without the diffuser, mostly at the roots to make sure it gets volume. And as you guys were seeing, I don't touch my hair too much as I'm diffusing it. And always, whenever you have it on any kind of heat, you want to make sure that you keep the blow dryer moving versus keeping it still in one spot. Because when you keep it still in one spot, you're putting all that heat and focus in one area, and it can cause minor heat damage and eventually major heat damage. When it's on a cool air, as long as it's pure cool air, you can keep it in one spot if you want to, or continue the flow. I like to keep it in one spot because it helps to prevent frizz when it's on cool. When you have it on warm, you don't want to be too vigorous like this, just gentle shaking. And I go back and forth between flipping my hair upside down and also flipping it the way that I want it to part. But you guys can kind of see what's kind of forming here. I have more defined ringlets, and especially right here in this front, I don't want to touch it because they're still kind of damp, but you can see how it's more of a ringlet right here. So that works really well when it comes to my face framing. And then just gonna push that over to the side there. So I'm gonna probably get changed now and then let this air dry for about 30 minutes to an hour, just depending how long it takes to get like about 90% dry, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I lied. I decided not to change out of my robe because I'm way too comfortable in it. So I just let it air dry. I had my fan on, so it's mostly dry now. It's kind of almost crunchy feeling, but that's okay. So like I said, what we're gonna do is take the diffuser off. I'm gonna put it on warm, which is this in between, and I'm gonna go ahead and get my roots. Okay, so my hair is mostly dry. The only area that is not dry is underneath here, which it never gets mostly dry down there for whatever reason. But this is basically what the finished result looks like. What I do after this is I take a little bit more of my oil. You can use any oil. Sometimes I use argan oil. This one is the Nourishing Coconut Milk Anti-Aging, Anti-Breakage Serum. So this is from OGX as well. I just take a dollop size amount of it, and then I'm going to do the prayer hands as well, but very, very gently because we don't want to disturb any of the curls at all. This is just to help with some of the frizz. If you want to scrunch it in your hair, you can. My hair is still a little tiny bit wet, so I don't want to touch it too much. I just want to show you guys what the finished result is like. So this is more or less what the finished result looks like. Like I said, some pieces of my hair are still a little tiny bit wet. I'm just impatient and hate blow drying my hair, so I just let them be. I'm just redefining some of the curls in the front because sometimes when you blow dry the hair, it can tend to kind of get rid of some of the shape. This piece, I am gonna like split it. That just gives it more volume. And if you are touching your hair, I always recommend that you have some kind of oil in your hands because that just helps to prevent frizzing. But this is basically what the finished look is like. I'll check back in with you guys once I actually get dressed and maybe do something about my life. But you can see how defined the curls are in my hair. I'll be right back. So I changed the lights in my bathroom and put them back to the lights they usually are. And the other bulbs I had in here were my vanity lights, which are pure daylight, which is why it was so bright and white in here. But anyways, this is the end of my video. So this is what it looks like once it's dry. So you guys can see how really defined the curls are in my hair. Like even in this section right here, where I usually tend to have issues with it wanting to curl, there's still some pieces that are a little stringy, but overall the curls look really nice and defined. I usually like more volume than this, but what I do, instead of like picking my hair out and making it big and causing frizz and stuff, is I usually just sleep with a pineapple, and the next day my hair gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it actually used to do the opposite. It would start big and then go smaller, 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 because my hair was so unhealthy before. But now that I've been religiously doing the masks every other week, leaving the moisture mask on overnight once a month, and doing the pH bonder every other week as well, I can tell that my hair is just in such better condition. It's been like probably almost 3 years since I've had all virgin hair. That's how I started before I went blonde. So that's what made it so easy for me to go blonde. I just wanted to answer some questions that I get asked all the time when it comes to having blonde hair and having curly blonde hair. So the first thing is, I don't use a specific color. I get my hair bleached by a professional. She is a blonde specialist, and she also has curly hair, so she understands my hair type and my needs. So she really knows how to make sure that my hair doesn't get over processed and my curls still are in great shape. She's actually recommended a lot of the products that I use. I really am thankful for her. I will link her down below, but I will also have her in a video with my hair vlog when I went from very platinum blonde, like gray hair with the shadow roots, and then I did like the darker brown-ish golden blonde hair. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was what I had before this. But anyways, so that's the first thing. The second thing, it took me about 3 processes to get platinum white, and my first process was a double process, which means that she bleached my hair 2 times in one day, and I got a golden blonde, a little darker than what I have now. Then my second process was a single process, just over processed, not even gonna lie, and that's kind of where my hair went down the drain. That was when I had someone who was a blonde specialist, but she wasn't familiar with curly hair. She left the bleach in my hair for almost 3 hours. Not even gonna lie, it was like 2.5 hours, and my curls were rocked. So that's why I also have breakage too, because it's like those hairs that kind of were just holding on, but they were really weak. So anything that you do to it next will like break it. Then after that, I went platinum white blonde, which was in my previous hair care or my hair routine. So that basically took 4 processes to get from dark brown level 2 hair to a level like what? I think it was a 12, I guess you could say, because it was platinum white hair. Like all I needed to do was do purple shampoo and my hair was white. And it will turn yellow, of course, because I live in Florida. We have hard water here, and that's just what happens. But yeah, so it took basically 4 processes, and then from there I have gone back and forth between shadow roots, and now I'm trying to transition into like more of a balayage highlight type of a look. So that is what's going on with my hair. Like I said, I wash my hair once a week, and then I co-wash on day 5, day 4 or 5, depending on how my curls are looking by then. Usually my hair has gotten to the point where it's healthy enough where I don't have to refresh my hair anymore, and I also just kind of like, I don't have to like do anything to my hair to get the curls to come back to life. By day 4 or 5, sometimes I'll have to touch up the front a little bit with a little bit of water, but that's it. I used to use the Mario Badescu lavender and chamomile spray, which I still use every now and then when my hair is really frizzy or just not cooperating. but I don't use it as often as I used to. And the reason why I like this one is because lavender oil is very, very moisturizing and hydrating, not only for your skin, but also for your hair. So if you're looking for a good refresher, this is really great. It's only 12 bucks and it has 8 ounces. It lasts me about 3 months for my hair because I used to use this every single day. Now I don't use it every day anymore, so it's lasting me longer. But just so you guys know, and I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys have any other questions about my curly hair, my curly blonde hair, the routine that I did. Like I said, I think this is my 3rd time doing this technique and I really love it. I will show you guys side by side on how my hair looks using the same products while doing like just a regular prayer hands, scrunching my hair and then diffusing, versus doing the prayer hands, doing the weird ringlets, scrunching and then diffusing. So I definitely enjoy my hair more like this because it's more defined, and I think it kind of helps to manipulate the hair to want to curl again. So if you're having a hard time curling your hair and finger coils don't work for you, because they don't work for me, I suggest doing this technique. And thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what videos you guys want to see in the future. And like I said, let me know if you have any other questions about my hair. And also, I want to know what products you guys love and what kind of techniques you guys are doing, because I'm always down for trying out new products and new techniques. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then.